The studio erupted into chaos. The conservative guest slammed the table, calling Prince Harry a disgrace, while the liberal guest shot back, accusing the monarchy of mistreatment. The host tried to step in, but voices only got louder. Tension filled the room as accusations flew back and forth. Was this a real debate or just a shouting match? The internet exploded with reactions. Some called it an eye-opener, others a complete disaster. But was the host biased, or did they just expose an uncomfortable truth? Stick around, because by the end, you might see this debate in a whole new way. Prince Harry's name has been at the center of global headlines for years, but the controversy surrounding him reached new heights after his royal exit. Once seen as a fun-loving prince, admired for his military service and charitable work, Harry's decision to step back from royal duties alongside Meghan Markle changed everything. The couple cited relentless media intrusion, lack of support from the royal family, and even racial undertones in Meghan's treatment as reasons for their departure. Their explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2021 only fueled the fire, with Harry revealing deep fractures within the royal institution. This decision turned him into a symbol of a much bigger debate, one that goes beyond the royal family. To liberals, Harry represents someone who broke free from a rigid, outdated system and spoke up against injustice. They see him as a man who put his family's well-being above tradition and refused to stay silent about issues like racism and mental health. For them, his willingness to challenge the monarchy is a sign of progress, proof that even institutions as powerful as the British royal family should be held accountable. On the other hand, conservatives view Harry's actions as a betrayal. To them, the royal family is more than just a collection of individuals. It's a symbol of British heritage, duty, and unity. By stepping away, airing grievances in public, and signing lucrative media deals, Harry has, in their eyes, abandoned the very institution that raised him. Many believe he has been influenced by Hollywood and modern celebrity culture, turning his back on the values of loyalty and service that the monarchy represents. This division is exactly why debates about Prince Harry get so heated. His story is no longer just about a prince leaving his royal duties. It's about two vastly different worldviews clashing. Was he a victim of an outdated system, or a privileged royal who walked away when things got tough? The answer, it seems, depends entirely on which side of the political spectrum you're on. The stage was set for what was supposed to be a civil discussion, but it quickly turned into a liberal versus conservative war. The TV host, known for tackling controversial topics, introduced a segment with a question that immediately stirred tension. Has Prince Harry become a voice for justice, or has he simply abandoned his duty? Seated across from each other were two outspoken guests, one a liberal journalist who had publicly defended Prince Harry, and the other a conservative commentator who saw him as nothing more than a privileged royal running from responsibility. Right from the start, the liberal guests made their stance clear. Prince Harry did what anyone in his position should have done. He spoke up against racism, against the toxic culture within the monarchy. He exposed an outdated institution that refuses to change, they argued. They pointed to Meghan Markle's struggles, the press attacks, and even claims of discrimination within the royal family. According to them, Prince Harry wasn't just making personal choices. He was standing up for those who didn't have the same platform. The conservative guests scoffed, shaking their head. This isn't bravery. This is betrayal. They fired back. The royal family represents duty and honor. Prince Harry was born into privilege, raised with everything at his feet, and yet he turned his back on his responsibilities, running off to Hollywood, signing Netflix deals, trashing his own family. How is that anything but weakness? Their voice grew louder as they argued that Prince Harry had sold out, choosing fame over family. The TV host attempted to regain control, raising their hands to quiet the escalating back and forth. Let's keep this discussion focused, they urged, but it was clear that emotions were running high. Both guests were locked in, unwilling to back down. The audience was on the edge of their seats as the conversation quickly veered into personal attacks, each side convinced that their version of Prince Harry's story was the absolute truth. As the tension built, it became clear that this debate was about more than just Prince Harry. It was about two conflicting ideologies clashing on live television. The liberal versus conservative war was in full swing, and the TV host was struggling to contain it. The debate had already been heated, but within minutes, It spiraled completely out of control. The TV host tried to step in, raising their hands in an attempt to restore order. "Let's keep this civil," they urged, but their voice was drowned out by the shouting. The conservative guest leaned forward, jabbing a finger in the air. "People like you are the reason tradition is dying. Defending Prince Harry is defending entitlement and weakness." The liberal guest didn't hold back. "And people like you are the reason institutions never change. You think criticizing the monarchy is betrayal? Prince Harry exposed racism, and instead of listening, you just want to shut him down." Their voice grew sharper, and before the TV host could intervene, both guests were in a full-blown screaming match. The insults turned personal. "You're just repeating woke nonsense," the conservative guest snapped. "You don't care about justice. You just hate the monarchy." "Oh, please," the liberal guest shot back. "You're just mad because Prince Harry refused to be another royal puppet." The audience reacted instantly. Some gasped, others clapped, and a few even booed. The camera panned across the crowd, capturing shocked expressions and people whispering to one another. The TV host, now visibly frustrated, slammed a hand on the desk. "Enough!" they shouted, their voice echoing through the studio. This is supposed to be a discussion, not a shouting contest. But the damage was already done. The liberal versus conservative war was playing out in real time, and the internet was about to make it go viral. Within hours, clips of the chaos flooded social media. Some called it an embarrassing display of political division, while others argued it perfectly reflected today's reality. Hashtags like #PrinceHarryDebate and #TVHostMeltdown trended, each side claiming victory. What was supposed to be a simple debate had turned into something much bigger, proof of how deeply divided people were over Prince Harry and what he represented. And for the TV host, it was a reminder that in today's world, even the best attempt to control can be no match for the intensity of a liberal versus conservative war. Despite the chaos in the studio, the core arguments from both sides revealed a much deeper divide. The liberal guest remained firm. Prince Harry had done what no royal before him dared to do. He spoke out against the monarchy's unfair treatment, especially toward Meghan Markle. They pointed to the relentless press attacks, the alleged racist comments about their son, and the lack of emotional support from the royal family. For decades, the monarchy has operated behind closed doors, hiding its flaws. Prince Harry pulled back the curtain, and now they're punishing him for it, they argued. On the other hand, the conservative guests saw it completely differently. To them, Prince Harry had disrespected the institution that raised him, breaking centuries of tradition. Being a royal isn't just about privilege. It's about duty, they insisted. He walked away from his responsibilities and then cashed in by selling his family's secrets. They criticized his Netflix deal, his memoir Spare, and his repeated interviews, arguing that instead of handling things privately, he had turned his grievances into a public spectacle. This debate wasn't just about Prince Harry. It mirrored a much larger cultural divide. On one side, progressives who believe outdated institutions should be held accountable, even if it means exposing painful truths. On the other, conservatives who see tradition as something to be protected, arguing that dismantling in the name of progress does more harm than good. The TV hosts found themselves stuck in the middle, struggling to remain neutral. Every time they tried to present a balanced perspective, they were met with pushback. When they acknowledged Prince Harry's struggles, the conservative guests accused him of taking sides. When they defended the monarchy's role in British history, the liberal guests called him out for ignoring its flaws. As the debate intensified, it became clear this wasn't just about one royal exit. It was about two completely different worldviews, both unwilling to back down. And for the TV host, it was a losing battle trying to mediate between them. The moment the debate aired, social media erupted. Within hours, #PrinceHarryDebate was trending worldwide, with users dissecting every second of the fiery exchange. Clips of the TV host losing control flooded Twitter and TikTok, with captions like, "TV host's worst nightmare," and "Liberal versus conservative war live on air." Some users cheered on the liberal guest, praising them for defending Prince Harry and calling out the monarchy's flaws. Others sided with conservative guests, arguing that Harry was nothing more than a privileged prince playing the victim. News outlets wasted no time capitalizing on the drama, each framing the event through their own ideological lens. Left-leaning media highlighted how the conservative guest attacked Prince Harry and dismissed the valid concerns he raised about the monarchy. Right-wing outlets focused on the liberal guest's emotional outburst, painting it as another example of political correctness gone too far. Some headlines read, "Prince Harry's defenders expose royal scandals, or just themselves?" Liberal outlet, "TV debate chaos. The left's obsession with tearing down traditions," conservative outlet. But the real debate wasn't just about Prince Harry anymore. It was about the TV host. Did they cross the line? Some argued that they let the conversation spiral out of control, allowing personal attacks to dominate the discussion. "A good moderator controls a room," one media critic wrote. This host let the debate turn into a shouting match. Others defended them, saying they were put in an impossible position. With emotions this high, no one could have stopped that from exploding. One viewer tweeted. As for Prince Harry, did he respond? Some outlets claimed sources close to him were disappointed but not surprised by how his name continued to divide people. Others speculated that he might address the controversy in a future interview. But whether he spoke on it or not, one thing was clear. The debate had only made him a bigger symbol of the never-ending liberal versus conservative war. After all the shouting, viral clips, and media spin, one question remained. Who really won? The debate had started as a discussion about Prince Harry, but by the end, it had turned into something much bigger. A reflection of just how deep the liberal versus conservative war runs in today's society. Public opinion polls showed a divided response. When asked, "Do you support Prince Harry's decision to leave the royal family?" the results were almost split down the middle. About 48% sided with the liberal view, agreeing that he had the right to expose unfair treatment and break free from outdated royal traditions. On the other hand, 45% leaned conservative, saying he had abandoned his duty and disrespected the monarchy. The remaining 7%, they were just tired of hearing about him. But another debate raged on. Did the TV host handle the situation well? Some viewers felt they failed to keep control, allowing debate to spiral into personal attacks. Others thought they did the best they could under the circumstances. After all, when emotions run this high, is it even possible to keep things civil? In the end, this debate wasn't really about Prince Harry. It was about the world we live in today. A world where every issue, from royalty to politics, becomes a battle of extremes. Where social media amplifies every argument, turning disagreements into viral moments. And where TV debates, once meant for discussion, now often feel more like a battleground. So, who do you think was right? Was Prince Harry a hero for speaking out, or a traitor to tradition? Did the TV host do a good job, or did they lose control? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's settle this debate once and for all.